Kubitz. I'm from Adria BIM and I'm a BIM expert. Today I have two special guests. So one on the left side is Mr. Jože Hafner from Zavod za gradbeništvo Slovenije, and on the right side here is Mr. Benjamin Gonzalez from Cype. Today we will talk about some topics which are for the calculation of thermal, it's about thermal calculation for the buildings, and maybe I can start with Mr. Hafner, who already do some good practice with the Cype software, so it's Cypetherm Eplus software, and maybe you can tell on the beginning maybe a little bit more about yourself, and after that about this experience.
Yeah, hello. I'm working on the thermal calculation for the building. Normally I'm using Knauf tool, but the Knauf tool is only the monthly method. But the new regulations in Slovenia needs to use hourly method. So Cypetherm is a very good tool for that. It's a very friendly using, and it is a good tool for the workflow from 3D documentation to the end calculation of thermal response of the building.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. So if I ask you another question, so where you see the connection with the Cype in this case?
The Cype is making a calculation, and because of the friendly using interface, the project could be prepared very easily with all the options for the calculations with the new regulations.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. So Mr. Gonzalez, now it's the third time when you are visiting Slovenia,
yeah,
I think.
Yeah.
So the third visit, now we are, if I can say, more focusing or we are going more in details about your solution.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically now we are talking about Cypetherm Eplus,
Mm-hmm.
or we are talking about MEP package. How do you see the opportunity with the Cypetherm in the cooperation or in the with the help of ZAC, which they are already testing this application?
Yes, I think the regulation and the energy simulation is improving about the seasonal method, afterwards the monthly method, and now the European Commission wants us to analyze the buildings with the hourly methods. And actually we have an engine from the United States, is EnergyPlus, is the most popular engine for the hourly method. And well, we think that this is important to use the most advanced technology around the world, and in this case we use this engine and we use our workflow. The workflow is the Open BIM workflow. We have expertise using a 3D model, and this 3D model, we connect the 3D model with the tool, in this case Cypetherm Eplus, and other tools, in this case could be for Cypetherm louds or for regulation tools like for the Italy, Spain, France, Portugal. And we are happy to collaborate with ZAC in order to customize this solution for the Slovenian market, of course.
So, and this usually is not the first case that you need to develop for some country some special tools for them. I think that maybe in the next months, Slovenia also will need this kind of tools to calculate this building, how it's called, it's graphic for...
The hourly, with hourly method, you mean?
Yeah.
But the thing is, when we are in Europe, in the European Commission, wants the countries to calculate with a more advanced methods. In this case, the hourly method is the best one. And of course, we have expertise in Spain, in Portugal, in France, in Italy, in Morocco. we adapt the tools for the different regulations, in this case for the thermal regulation, and we will be happy to adapt it for the Slovenian code. Actually, in the Slovenian code is changing. Now will be mandatory to calculate in more in detail, and we are here to help.
So on the end, I know that I asked you already for this project time pack, but today when we know more, not only about time pack, but also about these thermal codes, energetic part. So do you think that on the end, this will come together, these projects, if I can say that? So from one side, it will be time pack, coming with life cycle and this part, and on the other part, I don't know, some thermal calculation with ZAC help.
Yeah, about time pack is a European research project, and we have partners from Slovenia. We have the Josef Stefan Institute, and we have Golea, and the Ministry of Infrastructure as well. Actually, 3 partners in this research project, European research project from Slovenia, and they have an important part in this part. And this project is about to improve the energy performance certifications, and one topic could be the life cycle analysis that you said before, and to improve with, for example, with the BIM technology. And in this case, we are working together to provide the background that we have, the expertise that we have in BIM workflow, and in order to improve and enhance the energy performance certification for many countries. It's Spain, Italy, and Croatia, and in this case with Slovenia as well.
Great. If I switch to Mr. Hafner, so you use some tools or some application until today for calculate, I don't know, some thermal things in the past. So if you compare Cypetherm Eplus with the previous applications, so what are the differences which you see, or benefits or features, if I can say that?
Okay, many main differences is of course hourly method, which is using in the Cypetherm, but there are several additional benefits. Another one is also the flow of work from the 3D model to the calculation without any manual work. Of, let's say, of the preparing the area table or something like that. This is done automatically, and also all the, let's say, all the shadows are automatically set to the right position, and and also the spaces are defined automatically. Everything is automatically. So from the model to the calculations, there is more or less just technical work with setting the technical installations, with the thing of the temperature, the system of heating and cooling, and so on. So without any manual work, just technical work with the systems.
So in this test period of testing Cypetherm, I see that you also figure out that inside of ZAC there's also tools from map pack, if I can say that, Cype map, like Acoustic for acoustic,
yes,
and which also could be used in ZAC for, I don't know, acoustic part, I don't know, some lab part or something like that.
Yes, we are working also on acoustic calculations for the buildings, and Cype Acoustic could be a very good tool. Also for that, my colleague tested in the past, and it is a good tool because he had similar troubles with the other models, because he had to incorporate all the data manually in previous softwares, and this means a lot of work, and it could make a mistake, So the work will be much fluently, and he could also work much more on the technical details, not on the manual work to prepare the data for the software.
So until today, how how you are satisfied with the support of Cype?
I'm very satisfied, because if I had any problem, I just opened the video support, and I got almost immediately, in 1 day or 2 days, the solution, and we proceed very quickly to the end result, and to knowledge that we could do the calculation with the Cypetherm.
So now I'm going back to Cype. So that means that, yeah, Mr. Hafner was mentioning support.
Yes.
So we all know that this is the
Yeah, the technical support is very important for technical tools, because you always need some help in order to use the different tools that we have. And I think it's all about productivity. The productivity is, it means to the workflow that you said before. The workflow is you have a 3D model, and this 3D model you can share the geometry with the acoustic, the thermal, and you don't need to put manually the different measures. And this is, you are avoiding a lot of mistakes with that, and you are improving your productivity as well. And I think that the point is we need to generate a new workflow that we propose, and we think that this is very important. It's not only with Cype tools. You can use another tools in the workflow. Actually, we developed a tool, BIM Service Center, and you can have your 3D model from any tool. We have tools for that, like Cype Architecture or IFC Builder. But the point is, you can connect with other tools like ArchiCAD, Allplan, Revit, in order to have this 3D model and to connect with CypethermEPlus, for example, or Cypelux, if you want to calculate lighting, or Acubat by Cype. So the productivity is quite important, included, of course, the technical support, because it's important to work together and to have the answer as soon as possible. No? I think it's in this world, and we have some information about videos, and I think the most powerful thing is the technical support via email, or maybe telephone or meeting, and we are open to collaborate more and more.
Already talk about the workflow, which is yes, not very important for Cype, but for the users. So I'm talking about the workflow, like we said, from the architect to the final result which you need. So that could be structured, it could be term. So could you repeat maybe the workflow?
Yeah. So the workflow, it has to be, we think that the important thing is the knowledge of the specialist. A specialist could be a structure specialist, the structure engineer, civil engineer, mechanical engineer, architect, quantity surveyors. And the thing is, what they have to use a software, a specialist software. And our workflow is, you are focusing your knowledge in your specialist software, and afterwards you share the information with open standards, because it's important to do with open standards, with the rest of the team. And the workflow is quite simple. You have a 3D model and geometrical model from the architect, for example. You share this 3D model, and this 3D model is able to give information for the energy simulation, for the acoustic simulation as well, or the structure, fire design, and so on. And when they analyze and they design the fire model, acoustic model, or energy model, they share the reports, the different energy model for the rest of people of the team. And this is the workflow. It's quite simple. You don't need to learn about it. We say that this is like a plug and play solution, because you can download, you can install the software, and you can work with it.
Okay. Thank you. So I also read it that Zavod za gradbeništvo, or ZAG, is also involved in this. It's not a time pack project, but it's called what is Forklimate something?
The live project, a live project.
The live project, yeah. So you're also involved in this project. Which part? It's Zach part, if I can say that, in this.
It's a very difficult question for me because I'm not involved in that till now. I will be, but I'm not preparing the application for the project, so it's very difficult to say. But when I will be involved, I will
you can share the information.
Yes.
So, Mr. Hafner, one more question for you. So, how far or where do you see Cype's solution which you are using now in the future? Only a short view of from your side. So from Zavod za gradbeništvo, because you are not using the whole solution of Cype, but only the part.
Look, Cypetherm, as I said, is a very, very useful tool for the future because more and more projects of the buildings will be made by 3D modeler, and I would get that kind of documentation, and it would be easy way to make a thermal calculation for the buildings as it was in the future. If I worked on a big project, let's say like Palace Schellenburg, which is now building in Ljubljana, there was months of working on the collecting areas, and other technical parts. So, and now it would be done in, let's say, in a few days, with all the repairing of the mistakes produced by, let's say, by architects.
Okay. Thank you. So, Mr. Gonzalez, about developing, if I can say that. So, do you see a big case to localize your tools to prepare it, I don't know, for Slovenia, for some country? What kind of work do you see behind of this?
Yes, I think when we adapt a tool, we have two parts. One tool is we develop tools in order to design in a general point of view, but the energy simulation takes to adapt for any country because you have, in the case, for example, of Slovenia, you have a thermal code, you have an energy performance certification that is different around of Europe, is different in any country. So if you want to have an energy analysis with CypethermEPlus, is perfect. But if you want to be more productive, our task is to develop or to adapt a tool in accordance with the Slovenian regulation and with the energy performance certification from Slovenia as well. So the point is to study the regulation. Nowadays we have very good translators because the Slovenian is not easy for us. It's not easy. It's not an easy language for us. No, it's not. Maybe in the future, but not now. And well, we need to study in depth the regulation, and our colleagues from the development department, they study the code and they develop the different reports that is necessary. In the case of the Slovenia, it's very clear the report that it takes for low demand buildings and for high demand buildings as well. And we use the engine that we have and we customize with weather data, maybe with your help with the weather data and the different construction systems that you need. And of course, one of the topics that we think is important is to connect these construction systems, this equipment that you need with manufacturers. Okay, actually, you have here in Slovenia 2 tools developed by manufacturers, the NAF insulation and the URSA tool, and this is amazing because for us this is new because always it used to be is the government who develop or who pay for that, and in your case the Slovenian case is the opposite, is the manufacturer, and we think it's a good idea, and in this case. We think that this kind of tool has to be the connection with the different manufacturers maybe Nauf Insulation, UFSA, or maybe another manufacturer like, I don't know, Daikin, Vaillant, or I don't. There are so many manufacturers around the world because they have the knowledge and they have specific materials, specific solutions for any market. And we are working in this way to adapt the tool that we have with weather data, construction systems, schedules as well, and the connection with the different manufacturers. Of course, the reports.
You mentioned cooperation with ZAC. So where do you see I cannot say the benefits, but the features and success?
Yeah, I think it's important. For example, we used to work in the French case. We used to work with the CSTV, and it's like SAC, but in France, more or less. And we think that we can do something like that. It's like a relationship, but you have the confidence of the market, you have the knowledge of this country, and we have the knowledge of the technology. And this symbiotic relationship, I think, is important, and is very productive.
Yes, I hope so.
So I'm glad that you met, and that I met you, and also you, Mr. Hafner. So I would like to say thank you for attending this interview. It was interesting. Also thank you to you, Mr. Gonzalez. Thank you for watching this interview with my special guest, Mr. Gonzalez and Mr. Hafner. Don't forget, design your future with Adria BIM.